Hey everyone, big video today. It is Elite Units time in Season 5, Tactics Evolved. Exciting. You know I don't like releasing videos unless I know what I'm talking about, and I know probably 90-95% of the information you need to know to be effective with the Elite Units and not go into the season not knowing anything. So today we're going to be running through all the good units, all the good alignment units, and also all the information we know about elite units and how to get the rewards and currency and stuff like that. So we're running through that today. I will be timestamping below, so feel free to skip through. But to be honest, this information is mega important and you should watch all of it. I don't ask that much. I never usually say that kind of thing at the start of the video, but there's a lot to go through and you're going to learn loads. All the information I'm going to give you will help you to be more effective with your spending of the currency or knowing what you're going to do with the season. So let's get underway, because this might be a long video, hopefully sort of 15 to 20 maximum. So let's get underway and we'll talk through it. I'm going to look at my notes to make sure I don't miss any detail possible. I need to give you everything. So yes. What do we know about elite units? So the first thing is, we know this already, we did before we started. We get the elite training ground. This unlocks at Town Hall level 7. Not an expensive building, and you can upgrade it sort of like at least 2 levels straight away, which I do recommend doing, because you unlock the training regime tip star level 2 rather than 1, and I'll run through in a second that information. So these missions that you unlock, you can go to the tavern and you go into the Master at Arms, and it's this training regime at the top here, and you have these missions. You can see here my missions are level 1. If I got the level 2, then I would have level 2 missions, which we'll be able to complete with more rewards, more gold, etc. You can refresh these every 8 hours. So you can look for the top ones, just like the structure development kind of stuff, where you kept refreshing to see if you got better ones. And with the results from the trial records, you can then push into here and get either elite medals or your tomes of awakening. Both of these currencies are then used to unlock the elite abilities. Isn't it good, eh? So you've got trial record that can get converted into elite medals or tome of awakening. It sounds complicated. It's not. One currency to buy the other 2. So then we go into, you only get 10 of these per week. They refresh for me in 1 hour 11 minutes. So make sure you do your highest stars possible, and make sure you keep refreshing to get those high stars and get the maximum amount of rewards, because they are limited. You can also sweep tiles to get these trial records. You get 1 per sweep, and you can complete all of the missions at the same time. So the likes of this, I would have to accept all 3, and then I could actually complete them all with only 2 sweeps, and it'll complete all of them. The other thing to know is if you accept one and you refresh, you will lose it and it will count towards your 10. So be very careful when you accept it, just complete it, or you will lose out on rewards. Brill. Good news for pay-to-win players as well. You can get a little pack for $4.99, pounds, whatever your currency is, $4.99 to unlock 3 of these elite medals. But to be honest, I've bought them just to see what it does and get to learn more about what's going on. But you can buy them. I've not seen the pack pop up a second time. It's not fully like they've done in this game. It's not mega pay-to-win, where you can keep buying them and just win everyone like other games, which I do like the element of this game, so that is good to see that. We do know that all tier 3 and above unit can be upgraded. So we're going to elite training down here. So just again, on the barracks screen, it's elite training down the bottom left. All tier 3 units can be upgraded, and tier 4s, and that is also your neutral units as well. All tier 3 and above, no below. Once you upgrade those units, please, a key point here, really key points, the resources required to conscript them will increase by 15%. although I don't know if I need to put text on here or a separate timestamp, 15% more resource and 15% longer to recruit. Okay, that does not increase once you go from Elite 1 to Elite 2 to Elite 3. It should stay at the 15%. I need to confirm that. I have asked a couple of people and they have confirmed that it doesn't go up again, but I believe it only goes up when they become elite and they get this special little title on them. Okay, that's when they become elite and then they get the 15% increases on timing. So just be aware. You can technically make all your tier 3 units elite. However, that means you're going to have 15% more resource and 15% more time to conscript for every single unit you have. You don't have a cheap option. You need to be smart. And this, by the way, the strategy that comes in with all these units is awesome. I cannot wait to test all this, play all this, and see what people are running, because the strategy in it is it's changing everything, this will, and I cannot wait for this season. The season's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to test some of this stuff, and I can't wait to see what everyone else does. So having more elite units means that you will be spending more, so you have to be careful of the fights you're taking, so do be careful of that. But like I said, it may change your strategy of how you're fighting. If you only come on for an hour per day, maybe you have loads of resources. Well, this is one way you can use more, spend more, and have a good fight when you get in there, which is also awesome. Every unit has one ability when they first unlock, then it goes into 2 at level 2, and Elite 3 will be level 3. Each time you train will be more tomes, so be aware of that. And to unlock one at the first point, you need to use those elite medals to make them elite in the original point. I think it takes 3 to unlock them. You'll see here you get 1 ability on level 1, 2 abilities on level 2, and 3 on level 3. All the level 3 abilities are from its race, so all men get the same ones, all elves get the same ones, beasts get the same, ents get the same, etc, etc. It's a bit weird, but there's a lot to go through, so please listen carefully. 3 abilities on the race, but you get 1, then 2, then 3. You can only ever use 1 ability at a time. If we go here, you'll only ever get to choose 1 of these abilities, and you can pick which one. So you do this and you can choose which. We've obviously not unlocked these others. You can choose 1 to add to the other 2 that are already there. You aren't going to have 8 abilities. You're not going to be completely overpowered. You're not going to have to spend millions and millions of gold to upgrade all of them. I don't believe. You have to obviously pick the ones you want, and then you're winner. Brill. I think that's everything on the abilities. We're just checking level 1 elites, one skill equipped at a time. And I'm not sure, by the way, the last thing I wanted to say on the info we know is we don't know if the info we know what we don't know. Sorry. Conscription hiring time costs minus 10%. Every single one, every single ability, every single race gets this. What I don't want it to do is that every time we recruit, we have to change our ability to disciplined and then recruit, then we switch it back, because then we save the 10% of money. It'd be really silly if that was the case. What I'd love to see is this 3rd elite ability to simply get applied across everything. I believe that will be the case, because if you go to our Guards of the Tower, if we look at this, we can see that only the 3 you select are Divide and Conquer, Shield Training, and Survival Crisis, which means I can't select the other 3. I believe we will get 10% army speed, we will get 10% attack, and I believe we will get the 10% reduction, which means elite only therefore have a 5% increase in resources after that adjustment. So just to be aware. That's all the information we know at the moment. I will correct all of this in time. Maybe make a second video later on the season when we've learned it all. Maybe give some more tips on the best ones. Let's go in to each of these units though and learn what we've got. We're going to review the tier 3s. I'm also going to give a little snippet of the tier 4s and some of the neutrals. The neutrals abilities are insane. So I'm going to give you a little snippet of the tier 4. You can see Ranger of the North here. Light armor is their 1st ability, which is a 15% damage reduction from melee damage at max level. They also have Haven, which is damage reduction after being healed. It can stack and it lasts for 2 rounds. With it being stackable, it can go up to 30%, and that can be throughout the whole battle if you're using a healer. Pretty damn insane. Endurance with 25% less damage taken when you're stunned, when you're at madness, or you cannot recover HP. So again, all of them are great damage reduction abilities and really pairs well with Ranger of the North, who is designed to take damage from other ranged units. So really great units. I'm going to a little snippet there. I'm going to go into the tier 3s now and run through the neutrals at the end, just 2 of them, just to see how crazy they are, but I'll do a separate video on it. So let me know when you want to see that. I will try and record it this week because they are awesome and they've got some great abilities we can talk about. So let's run through the good units, and we're going to start with the Cavalier. We're going to aim for maybe 30 seconds to a minute per one. We're going to try and run through them quickly. We're going to be here all day. Cavaliers, absolutely brilliant. One of my favourites, I have to say. They have a Travelling Light as their first ability, damage reduction from range 15% at maxed, and they can evade 100% of attack first 2 attacks. Now obviously, the Pursue ability of March Wardens and Noldor Longshot will go through this, but standard range people like Sentinels, Sharpshooter, etc. will struggle, and they can dodge 2 attacks. This is absolutely mental. Really good ability, and doing 15% reduced damage for the whole fight anyway, absolutely amazing. However, they do have an awesome damage ability here. Normal attacks do cause bleed, and they do 10% damage, but it also has a 50% chance of doing 40% additional damage at max. And Rise Up is insane. Really like this one. Damage dealt plus 15% when the army is comprised of 3 different races. Now running Theoden with Cavalier, Ram Riders and Cataphracts, for example, will mean everyone gets 15% more attack on something like Theoden's crazy attack anyway. It is pretty insane, to be honest. Can't wait to use this. I think these are going to be one of the best tier 3s, I have to say. Really love it. Honestly, really like this elite unit. Onto the Sharpshooter. Don't like the first ability, damage received from melee. To be honest, if you're in a place where you're going to get hit with a Sharpshooter from melee, you're probably going to lose that fight anyway, or you're going to be losing some units. I do like Dispersion, which is 25% damage to all enemies each round in addition to your normal attacks. So if they're running 3 units, this is really interesting. Love this. If they're running 3 units, you can use this. If they're running 1, you can use this. Okay, especially when you're running against something like a Galadriel, because normal attacks can cause the target to do additional 30% damage every time they're being healed. Now if you think about this, if someone's being healed twice around, you're doing 60%. It's good. It is good for sort of like single units. However, be aware it's only normal attacks. So it's not, no, that doesn't matter. Sorry, I thought I was going to compare it with this then and combine it. That's wrong. It's 30% additional damage. What I was going to say on this, if you attack, for example, the Cataphract and the Ram Rider gets healed, then there's no extra damage. You're safer probably with the Dispersion, is my first thought. But in weird situations, Lethal Strike can be good. Onto the Dunedain, same kind of ability, Travelling Light, as the Cavalier. Obviously, Dunedains are great versus ranged already. They get a 30% damage reduction. Add 15% to that, they're getting a 45% damage reduction versus ranged units. The evade's pretty useless on that, but awesome damage reduction that goes well with a Dunedain anyway. The parry is alright, a 30% chance to reduce by 30% damage, pretty good, and it will increase the next hit by 30% as well, which is also awesome. I do like the steady will on this one though. Dunedain's is cure a negative status effect each round. That is madness, that's stun, that's a ability to heal, that is a damage reduction. So a damage reduction. So if you are dealing less damage put on by evil, that'll be removed. If you're if they've got you increase the damage taken, that can also be removed. This is great to have it cleared every round, be clean. and it does reduce your damage taken a lot. It does really win. And I love the fact running this with the likes of Isildur, whatever his bloody name is. Isildur. I'm going to get butchered for that. Everyone's going to hate me for it again. I was actually practicing it before the video. I've got distracted and clearly butchered it again. But this will be great with him. He can't get rid of madness and stun. Running this with him will be absolutely awesome. So I can't wait for that. And going through men, we've got army speed, army attack, and for their abilities. Let's keep going on. 15 minutes. We're going to run through another 8 units to go and some neutrals. God of the Tower, I absolutely love. I believe one of these are going to be one of the best tanking units going if they weren't already. Each round damage received is 6%, okay? This does stack per round, okay? So by round 5, you're taking 30% less damage. All damage. It doesn't say physical, doesn't say focus. 30% less damage. Stack that on top of the already 30% less damage on 20% less damage on mounted and a 50% chance to remove 20%. You're talking 30%, 20%, 20%, possibly reducing 70% worth of damage per attack. It's insane. It's very strong. They also have I don't like this. One of the worst ones, I believe, the shield training is increasing the damage they take, but protecting their allies. Survival crisis also is good. Reducing all enemies' damage for the next turn after fatal injury, which I believe means they lose a full army. If they lose a full army of a unit, it means it's a fatal injury, and I believe that will then reduce all enemies by 30%, so it's pretty good as well. But the tank ability on level 1 is insane, and I love it. Cataphracts also, I think, are amazing. Their first ability is first 3 rounds is they can reduce damage taken. It's by, I think it's 25%, I believe. We're on number 4. We started at 2, 10, yep, with 25% damage reduction for the first 3 rounds. Combined with, wait a minute, already a, 15% reduction on melee, and already a 10% reduction on mounted. That's a lot of damage reduction, pretty insane. You can see here we've got a armor break, don't like it. You can also see here, healing received plus 3% and deals extra damage when being healed. It's alright, pretty good, extra 30% healing, but to be honest, the damage reduction is insane for the first 3 rounds when it's important. Onto the Sentinel, again, don't like the light armor, same as the Sharpshooter. Dispersion, again, same as the Sharpshooter. However, Rise Up is really interesting. They have got a better ability here where they damage out with 1.5% when the army is 3 units. This will really pair well with the likes of the tier 4 Ranger of the North for Arnor. With Rise Up, with a Dwarven Axeman, it will mean we'll be obliterating a load of things. Okay, and you know what? We're probably looking at something like the Woes Hunter. They'll be classed in here. They're men, so they won't work. So actually, I was trying to theory craft as we're here. Let's shut up and get on with the video. But it's a great idea with the plus 15%. That's going to be huge if you're going to use that. But I have to say the Sentinels I'm not mega impressed with. The Dispersion is probably the best ability for them. Herald I really like. Melee reduction damage, brilliant. However, it was this one. Endurance. The endurance I really like. 25% damage reduction when you're stunned, when you got madness or cannot recover HP. I think that's really cool. Really like that. And I do wish though lethal strike on Heralds wasn't on normal attacks. I would like lethal strike to be on all damage done by Herald, and you'd be spamming extra damage on the counter attacks. I'd just be so good. Normal attacks cause the target to receive an additional 3% damage when being healed. You'd say something like Theoden, you have a big stack of Heralds. They do counter attack against all 3 units that attack them. It puts a little debuff on them. They get hit by the heal. They get taken extra damage. I think I love the idea, but that doesn't work. It's just normal attacks, which sucks. And I don't really like it. Damage reduction is always good, no complaints. Endurance, I think, is my favourite on the Heralds. 4 more to go with 19-minute video. This is the longest video I've ever bloody created. Bow Knights, damage reduction, meh, don't like that on the range units. Dispersion, as we've seen already. Bonus to have a really nice one here is simply a 30% damage increase, but it can't be healed. If you're running no healers, this is a pretty huge skill. Let's take an extra 30% damage. No complaints from me. Elves in general get extra HP, and they also receive less focus damage by 10%, just so you know. On to the dwarves then. Really like these. We've already seen Divide and Conquer. There's the Ram Riders. The counter blow isn't that interesting for me. Against all enemies, deals an additional 5% damage when taking loads of damage. Don't really like it. Your Ram Riders aren't a big damage dealer. However, the Protracted War is an interesting one. 120% heal every 6 instances damage you take. Could be interesting if you take if you're against some like sort of small hitters, but they're getting follow up. But I don't know. I don't like any of the abilities apart from Divide and Conquer. I think that's the best one for these sort of melee units. Maybe I'm wrong and this counter blow is going to be insane, dealing more damage, but we will see. Dwarves get army siege bonuses, they get focus damage received, and they obviously get the normal conscription time. The Guardians I really like. You have a solid metal. It is ranged units damage reduction by 15%. No complaints to put that on a Guardian that already have a physical damage reduction. They have a burn damage reduction, and now they're going to have a range damage reduction. Why not, why not? Damage reduction, damage reduction, damage reduction. However, the best one I like the most is Heavy Shield. Damage dealt minus 20%. Damage received minus 20%. Running Guardian with the likes of Legolas or Gimli, where you've got a stack of Guardians, then you've got a stack of March Wardens, you've got a stack of Sentinels, where you're using Protect Elves, will mean that you've got a 20% damage reduction whilst they're tanking for the Legolas and Gimli to hit, and also tanking for the Sentinels, etc. to hit. Really interesting, really like this, and be a great thing to use with damage commanders, where you're literally just doing all the damage from from your commander, not from the unit itself. So I really like this one. 20% damage reduction is nothing to complain at. Last one is Master Thrower. Really like the first 3 rounds thing, but a bit weird on a Master Thrower. They've got a special ability here though, Piercing Attack, which we haven't read yet. This deals an additional 45% damage to a random ranged enemy when attacking melee units. So if you think about it, if you're hitting someone with a frontline tank and ranged units behind, it means that you're going to be hitting both. This is like the tier 4 Gundabad's that hit the ranged units as well. Not quite as powerful, but it's a really good ability. I think it's really interesting, and chances are you're going to run into a lot of armies that have some kind of ranged units, at least on the good alignment fights anyway. Okay, I think we've gone through them all. We're just over 20 minutes. I do apologise for the long video. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek at some of the neutrals now. So have a look at this. You've got the likes of Bjornings. Oh my god, they've got Indomitable. This is unaffected by stun and defense +2. This is the March Warden ability. Really strong. Love this. I'm not going to show you the rest abilities, but it's a really cool one. However, another one I wanted to show you is the Keepers. Do you know Keepers? The big damaging focus hits, right? Yeah, that one. How about putting a 50% chance to follow up? A 50% chance for a double attack on a high focus dealing damage dealer thing anyway. Seems a little bit insane for me. It definitely seems a little bit insane. Running them with the likes of like Guardians, like I said before, with Protect Elves, and running Keepers, mind is blown. This seems a little bit broken in my eyes. But I'm going to show you all of that in a different video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully you made it through, even though it's 25 minutes. It's late for me. I need to go to bed now, but this was definitely worth recording, and I'll get to the neutrals and their tier 4s this week. You need to see the abilities. Some of them are absolutely crazy, and this has thrown a massive spanner into the strategy, into the game, and season 5 is awesome. Okay, it's going to be amazing. If you're thinking about, oh, I might not do season 5, 100% get in there, play season 5. I think it's one of the ones where we're going to be coming back to this because we feel like we haven't done everything and the strategy can change every time. Great season, great work on the developers on this one. Really excited to give you all the news on it. And yeah, I shall see you all soon. Love you all. Hope you enjoy the video. Catch you again.